Cool. Cozy winter games and hobbies. That's what this video is going to focus on. December is here, and that means the winter season is slowly approaching us. And what better time to pick up a hobby or a game to keep you motivated during this cold time of the year. This video is going to focus on some of the games and hobbies that I absolutely love doing during this winter time. Winter time for me means grabbing a game you can easily play while you're curled up with your favorite fuzzy blanket and a hot drink. It means choosing a game that you can easily and comfortably play handheld or docked for a cozy ambiance on the big screen. The following games on this list just evoke that sense of comfort and warmth, and that's why I've chosen them. Now, I'm going to separate these by categories, starting off with the classics. One in particular series that has been around since I was a kid. So the first classic game on my list is Animal Crossing's New Horizon. You can play any Animal Crossing game out there, but New Horizons definitely has a different feel to it. And if you're new to the gaming community, here's a quick recap of what Animal Crossing is. In Animal Crossing's New Horizons, enjoy your island getaway. Hunt down insects at the crack of dawn, decorate your paradise throughout the day, enjoy the beach while fishing in the ocean. The time of day and season match real life, so each day on your island is a chance to check in and find new surprises all year round. Show off your island utopia to family and friends. Island living is even better when you can share it. Hop on a flight, meet a cast of charming animal residents bursting with personality. Friendly faces like Tom Nook and Isabelle will send their services and happily help you grow your budding community. Escape to your island getaway, however, whenever, and wherever you want. Build your community from scratch. Create your personal getaway. Collect materials to construct everything from furniture to tools. And watch as the time of day and seasons match real life. Now, the second classic game on my list, which some people might find a bit tricky if you're going to get into the farming sims, is Stardew Valley. And one of the reasons why I absolutely adore Stardew Valley is that each season in the game is so perfectly depicted with absolutely amazing music to go with the season. You get to see the leaves change, you get to see the scenery adapt to the different types of seasons, and you farm according to the seasons. It's one of my all-time favorite farming sims. I cannot get enough of it, and one that you can pick up at any point throughout the year, no matter what, because you can go through the seasons pretty quickly. Stardew Valley is definitely a bit of a challenge if you're new to farming sims, and you might want to take it easy at first, but there are so many playthroughs out there, and the guidebook is extremely helpful, not to mention that the wiki itself is super detailed and provides great tips and tricks on how to approach each character, storyline, and how to develop your farm. You've inherited your grandfather's old farm plot in Stardew Valley. Armed with hand-me-down tools and a few coins, you set out to begin your new life. Can you learn to live off the land and turn these overgrown fields into a thriving home? It won't be easy. Ever since Joja Corporation came to town, the old ways of life have all but disappeared. The community center, once the town's most vibrant hub of activity, now lies in shambles. But the valley seems full of opportunity. With a little dedication, you might just be the one to restore Stardew Valley to greatness. Turn your overgrown field into a lively farm, raise animals, grow crops, start an orchard, craft useful machines, and more. You'll have plenty of space to create the farm of your dreams. Invite 1 to 3 players to join you in the valley online. Improve your skills over time. As you make your way from a struggling greenhouse to a master farmer, you'll level up in 5 different areas: farming, mining, combat, fishing, and foraging. Become part of the local community, with over 30 unique characters living in Stardew Valley. You can even romance somebody and complete an entire life with them. Spend a relaxing afternoon at one of the local fishing spots, donate artifacts and minerals to the local museum, cook delicious meals and craft useful items to help you out, customize the appearance of your character and house, and play tons and tons of hours, enjoying over 2 hours of original music. Now for narrative style games, I have 2 in particular on the list. I've grouped one together because it's got a part 1 and a part 2. The first one on the list is Coffee Talk 1 and Coffee Talk 2, Hibiscus and Butterflies. If you're looking for a narrative game that you can just pick up right before you're about to go to bed or while you're curled up next to the fireplace, this is definitely the game for that. It's one of my favorite games where you don't really need to worry about anything else but the story itself, and it's a lot of reading. So if you're one of those people that wants to get back into reading and you want to use this winter time to kind of calm down, lay back, and enjoy a good book, but you also want to get some gaming time in the mix, Coffee Talk 1 and 2 is definitely one of those games. As Coffee Talk is a coffee brewing and heart-to-heart talking simulator about listening to fantasy-inspired modern people's problems and helping them by serving up a warm drink or two. Dust off your coffee machine and prepare your warmest smile to meet your customers again in the second episode of the much-loved coffee brewing and heart-to-heart talking simulator, Coffee Talk 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. The second narrative game on this list is Videoverse, which came out this year. Videoverse has not been hyped up enough in the cozy gaming community, and it really should be. It's got that pixel art style to it with some wonderful graphic art style. I cannot recommend this game enough. It is on Steam, you can play it on the Steam Deck, and you just want to keep clicking along to see how the story goes. When I started the game and did a playthrough of it on my channel, if you want to check it out, I was absolutely captivated. And when I came back, you could not pull me away from the computer. And I really hope that the developer decides to come out with another version of the game or another game in general of this style. Relive the days of past social gaming networks and Videoverse, a decision-based narrative adventure focusing on character development, friendship, and love. As Emmett, a young video game fan and aspiring artist, dive into the fictional video game era, where the Kinmoku Shark gaming system and its online social network Videoverse were still popular. Strengthen Emmett's friendships, share fan art, and browse the lively gaming communities. Make decisions that will change how Emmett grows his approach to Videoverse, and ultimately the final outcome. Will your actions help Videoverse thrive? Or will you get caught up in teenage drama, video game fandoms, and corporate conspiracies? The next category of games are my feel-good games. And they're the games that I will pick up no matter what time of the day it is, no matter what I'm going through, because they make me feel so good. The first game is The Wild at Heart. If you have ever played a Pikmin-style game, then you'll understand the concept of The Wild at Heart. The graphic style is so gorgeous. It's like picking up an actual storybook, and you get to learn the life and story, a little bit tragic, of the main character and their buddy, along with these fascinating little creatures that follow you around and help you go through each level of the game. In The Wild at Heart, wield an ever-growing herd of quirky creatures to rebuild broken paths, battle perilous beasts, and solve peculiar puzzles in a rich, interconnected world. Join two young runaways as they unravel the mysteries of a lost realm in this nostalgic storybook fantasy. Collect and deploy a swarm of quirky spritelings, small magical creatures for you to command. Break stuff, collect loot, fight enemies, build new paths, and more. A unique and sequestered world rich with centuries full of lore, woods, caves, coastline, ancient shrines. The deep woods is full of puzzles to be solved and secrets waiting to be uncovered. The next game on the list is Obletz, and I have been absolutely obsessed with this game. It was introduced to me by another member of one of the Discord channels that I'm a part of, and I'm really sad to say that I wish I had picked this game up sooner, and I don't know why I waited so long. Albeit that I didn't get a Switch until the end of last year, so my 1-year anniversary with the Switch is coming up. But I'm so sad that I waited almost an entire year to finally pick this game up. Obletz is a relaxing and offbeat farming, town life, and creature collection game. Manage your farm, grow and train your Obletz, explore strange lands, and have dance-offs. You can also make non-Oblet friends by talking, gift-giving, quest-fetching, and whatnot. Get to know a bunch of offbeat townsfolk like Mayor Tinsel, Ragnolia, Outgrid, Vidion, Milu, and even Taffy. There are daily challenges, tasks from the mayor, dance tournaments, quests from townsfolk, lost Obletz to find, sea dangling to dangle, as well as plenty of badges, gleamies, clothes, furniture, decor, and friendship stickers to collect. The next game on this list is Good Pizza, Great Pizza. And pizza is an all-year-round type of food to eat. But making it, especially when it's cold outside and you want a fresh, hot slice, is something magical during the winter time. And every single season, there seems to be a different theme that comes out, so I'm excited to see what the winter season theme is going to be. Ever wanted to know what it feels like to run your own pizza shop? Now you can with Good Pizza, Great Pizza. Do your best to fulfill pizza orders from customers while making enough money to keep your shop open. Upgrade your shop with new toppings and equipment and decorations to compete against your pizza rival Alicante. The last game on this list is Spiritfarer. And Spiritfarer just tugs at your heart so hard. It honestly evoked all sorts of emotions for me as I was playing the game. It is definitely a little bit more touchy, so if you are a little bit sensitive about the topic of death and moving forward, this might not be the game for you. But for me, it's one that really relaxes me and really helps me put into perspective how the year has gone by and what I want to do for the upcoming year, as it really puts into perspective appreciating every single day of your life and all the beauty that your life has to bring you. Spiritfarer is a cozy management game about dying. You play Stella, ferry master to the deceased, a Spiritfarer. Build a boat to explore the world, then befriend and care for spirits before finally releasing them into the afterlife. Farm, mine, fish, harvest, cook, and craft your way across mystical seas. Join the adventure as Daffodil the Cat in 2-player cooperative play. Spend relaxing quality time with your spirit passengers, create lasting memories, and ultimately, learn how to say goodbye to your cherished friends. What will you leave behind? Aside from gaming, winter is also the perfect time to get comfy and cozy and intimate with your favorite hobbies. The sun sets way too early, and you might find yourself spending more time indoors. The following list of hobbies are the perfect ones, in my opinion, to pick up during the winter time or continue just to make those long winter nights seem much more enjoyable. In no particular order, we're going to start off with baking. Whether it's cookies, brownies, creme brulee, or a delicious pie, there's nothing more that shouts winter goals than a warm, fresh, delicious confection or pastry. I used to bake a lot more when I was younger. I especially loved baking cookies and making up my own recipes and eating the batter that I straight up just made. I'm hoping this winter inspires me to whip out the baking sheet and bake some delicious warm treats. It is also such a great experience to do with friends and loved ones as you share the kitchen together, recipes, have a little food fight, and just enjoy the overall experience, because in my opinion, food really brings you together. The next hobby on my list is coloring. And I have gotten into coloring a lot this year, but the winter time is perfect for it. Imagine yourself sitting in front of the fireplace, whether it's a real one with some crackling wood, an electric one, maybe one on the TV screen, you've got some lo-fi in the background, your absolute favorite relaxing music, some sweet baked goods that you just made fresh from the oven, a hot drink, a blanket, everything that you can imagine to make the room feel super comfortable, and your coloring book. Some of my favorite coloring books are fantasy-based ones or video game ones. And right here, I've got 2 to show you that are some of my favorites right now. I have a few more wish-listed that I have shared with friends and family and that I want to get myself starting this new year, but I definitely want to get through these 2 first, because there's nothing worse than starting a coloring book and never finishing it. Next on the list are puzzles, and I absolutely love puzzles, and I don't give myself enough time to do it. Growing up, it was one of the activities that my mom really pushed on us, and I can say that I'm super grateful for it. Puzzles in any sense, whether it's a word search or Sudoku, which is a bit more challenging for me, or the traditional puzzles, I grew up with them. And puzzles, especially when you're doing it with somebody else, can be super relaxing, a little frustrating, but definitely something that sets the mood during this time. You can put together the pieces of somewhere that you visited before or you wish to explore, or maybe even a magical fantasy land that you would like to escape to. Winter is my favorite season because I love the cold, I love bundling up, but I also think it inspires imagination to explore different realms, at least for me. So doing puzzles during this time, whether it's a realistic puzzle, a nature one, a landscape, or a fantasy-based one, I love puzzles during the winter. And I have one that I recently purchased of a New York City skyline that I cannot wait to start. The last and absolute favorite hobby on my list is reading, which should be the first one on my list, but there was no order in this list in general. Reading can be done any time of the year. But during the winter, along with all the other hobbies that I have on here, I just want to snuggle up when I read. I can do it on the go, I can do it when I'm on the train, when I'm in the car, but there's something super special about just being completely comfortable with your blanket. And I have said blanket a lot during this video because I'm a big blanket person. It just screams comfort to me. And I love, again, escaping into another reality or another world or another fantasy, or imagining myself somewhere else during the winter time that I look forward to in the upcoming year. My go-to genre has always been a thriller. I love thrillers. But recently I have gotten into fantasy books, sometimes with a bit of a mystery twist to it. The following few books are some of the recommendations that I have from books that I have read this year that have really captured my interest and have kept me reading for hours and hours and hours without wanting to put the book down. The first on the list is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. When I tell you that I spent hours reading this book and I didn't want to put it down until I finished it, I'm not lying. This book, which was a little bit of a challenge for me to get into at first, has the most beautiful and surreal and artistic storytelling and imagination. The next book on the list is A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. If you want a little bit of that fantasy with action in it, I do recommend this book highly. Compared to the first book, it's got a much easier read to it, and I really, really loved every second of this book. The third book would be one of my thriller choices, and it's Dark Roads. So if you're a little bit more sensitive to thriller type books and intense topics, maybe stay away from this one. But I just love Chevy Stevens. She's my all-time favorite author, and this book is so good. It's told in the perspective of two different people, and that's how the book is broken up. The first half of the book by one of the characters, and the second one from another character's perspective that really puts together the whole story. The fourth book on this list is Illuminations, also by the same author of A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. I have just started this book and I already love it. It talks about artists, it talks about how their art comes to life as they're commissioned art pieces, and I can't wait to see how the story develops. And the last book on my list is Flora's Traveling Christmas Shop. I haven't started it yet, but it's definitely a book that I'm looking forward to during this winter time, especially given the name. And the last book on my list, just because it was recently voted for in my gamer community book club that I'm a part of, is A Cat Who Saved Books. I know nothing about the book, but I'm super, super excited to start reading it. I love the book club that I'm a part of because it motivates me to keep reading, and because the books that have been chosen month after month have been ones that I do not regret spending a single penny on. So that's it for my list of games and hobbies that I think are perfect for this winter time, especially as December has approached us and we are nearing the end of 2023. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, for being with me this year as I started my content creator journey. I look forward to making many, many more videos for you guys. Be on the lookout for my next video, where I'll be making a list of cozy gamer gifts for this season if you have a cozy gamer in your life or a gamer in general. Espero se mantengan super calientitos mientras que se ponga más frío afuera. And from one bichota to another, stay cozy and see you next time. Adios!